Snitches get stitches when we pull up with the Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm sick and tired of this shit already. No, I'm sick and tired of it. All right, hold up. Sure. First of all, I want to say shout out to Wasonic, official _Josh dot GT on Instagram. A man who wants to do a collab in the future won't get a strong enough platform. And another shout out to 1 second. Another shout out to Jiffy Fishing on Instagram. What are you doing? What is this?
Oh, no,
it fucked up?
No. That's why. Shit turned totally up. We're good.
Say what you got to say. Go ahead. I'm listening. Because you ain't saying nothing.
You ain't saying nothing. Nah, all right. So what you got to say to people?
First of all, we got two topics that we want to talk about today. First of all, a lot of people are telling me to talk about the World War III bullshit that's going on, and then the Kobe Bryant incident that happened, involving Kobe Bryant's death and his daughter and everybody that was involved, and how that impacts the communities around the world and how that's gonna affect people in their personal lives. So far, a lot of people are saying that they feel like it was a hit or something or whatever that means. They're saying they feel something that was at play, because if it was a $13 million helicopter, how could you risk that flight going down with such an important personal influential figure out there? So a lot of people are wondering what happened. How did the pilot go down? Why was he flying out in the fog, and all types of circumstances that are surrounding that?
ASMR.
Motherfucker.
All right, so do you think it was a hit?
To a certain degree.
Do you think there was foul play?
Well, considering the fact that, those are good points. $13 million for a helicopter, and what else? It's foggy out, and then they said that the pilot didn't have a clearance for takeoff or flight that day, or in those conditions. So, what can you say? I feel like something happened. Oh yeah, that's what we're doing here, huh? That's what we're doing. Okay, all right.
That shit was delicious, though.
Motherfucker.
All right, so we having a feast right now, like roast beef. All right, so did you notice that this? Hold on.
Yep, that's why.
Okay, so did you? So. All right, so did you notice that there was the Grammys were being held at the same time?
Not only that,
where your favorite artist wore a pink cowboy suit?
Jay-Z also had a party, I believe, the day before. I don't know if that had anything in relevance to what was going on.
Oh, the Billionaire Club. The Billionaire breakfast.
Yep.
Brunch or some shit.
And then
I was there.
Within coincidence, he's dead. Wait, were you there?
Yeah, I was picking up the money that was wiping their ass.
Okay.
No, I was I was picking up the change they were throwing at the they're like pling 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 throwing change at the servers. Get your broke asses out of here now. No, I was there though. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't have $1 billion, I have $1 billion pennies.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Respect to Puff.
I do also want to touch on the topic. I did get knocked out by Stipe Miocic at a restaurant with my family. I was out with my kids and my wife.
Nigga got hell railed.
Something like that.
He got skinny from the 9.
That's the whole thing. I called him out, so it was the wrong mistake for me. I thought I was ready for the boxing, and I wasn't ready. Yeah. So
he got Michael Blackson.
Yeah. Actually, what happened was
he got Wesley Snipes. It's a play on words.
Oh.
Nah, but seriously, on a serious note,
I swung on him.
So the Grammys were being held at the same time. This is a sexy looking burrito.
Once I got up from the fight.
Have you ever ordered a steak burrito and the motherfuckers, instead of steak, they put refried beans? They violated me.
Is that what they did? Go in there and start swinging on them. Look at the face I have. I'm not joking. Fuck is wrong with you?
I'm gonna eat it. I'm just not happy about it. But yeah.
Nigga.
So on a serious tip, we just wanted to, laugh with you guys and make it a little more relatable. But
was that me?
That was me. Oh. So, all right. So they were holding the Grammys.
That's me.
LeBron just beat Kobe's scoring record, and he said he's going to take it over and hold it down. Right?
Yep.
Your favorite rapper, who just came out of the closet.
The fuck are you talking about? What?
Nah. Lil Nas X wore a pink cowboy suit to the fucking Grammys. Freaking Grammys.
Nigga, I don't fuck with that clown.
All right, so he just showed up in a pink suit to the Grammys. You said what else happened on that day? That was notable. You want some?
On the day of Kobe Bryant, with I think it was the day before actually, or 2 days before, with Jay-Z having his little billionaire club, whatever.
Breakfast.
Yeah. And I just find it strange that so many people that showing up and so many people that are there. I'm not gonna say it's some secret society thing or whatever. All I'm saying is it's just strange. Everything, like the timing of everything, is just strange. And I do follow a lot of the things that people are telling me on Instagram and on other social media platforms, and they're telling me, "Hey, man, look into this, look into that."
Also, so I want to point out, so all these things going on, right? It's weird how so quickly there was such big media coverage on the Kobe's death and his daughter's death so quickly, but yet you have all these huge events happening on the same day.
Officially in the news, they weren't going to release the pilot's name. They weren't. In fact, they said that for privacy issues or privacy matters, they were going to keep his name in classifications or whatever. They first of all, if this guy is the cause of you guys' major figure, because I didn't follow sports like basketball like that. So if he's the cause of you guys' major figure dying and everything, and you guys have so much input and so much of outrage towards this person, then you should be like you should be more outraged towards the person who's caused this travesty.
So what my thing is, we're covering it so late because we wanted to give the family time to grieve and everything. Because it's not appropriate, I think, to gain views or try to do anything, based off somebody's death. But so rest in peace to him and his daughter and other passengers. But my thing is, why is there such a big media coverage on that?
Something else that somebody.
So many other big events going on. So that to me shows that this shit was planned.
Yeah.
Because now I'm looking at it. The Grammys come.
You know something else that somebody else said. They said one of the women on the flight was she could have been a spy because the way that they said that she was good at copying any voice, like she could hear any voice or whatever and copy that voice. She could she's good at technology, like she's technologically savvy. They're basically describing us what a spy does. Basically being good at blending in and being a chameleon in her surroundings. And then all of a sudden she gets killed. I don't know what background, like what backing that has, what evidence they have. Yeah, I am.
All right. What? I see that you're human. You do eat.
Yeah, nigga, I was eating the whole time.
My thing is,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Why is it that's the first thing we cover, and then we cover it so much so fast? That's number one. How they get to media so fast. Secondly, you have somebody, and I noticed this in the black community, the news does never show an intelligent sounding person when they're covering their stories. Never. They always have some dumbass on there sounding stupid. Right? So when they had the guy talking about the helicopter, he's like, I didn't see the helicopter, but I think it was black. Oh, and then it was in the clouds. And then it was there's so many clouds that I couldn't see it.
Honestly,
and I seen it from my house. How are you contradicting yourself so much and you sound ignorant as hell?
Honestly, I felt like that guy could have been some sort of government agent. Just off the fact that he said they were flying low, and then he said he didn't see it, but they were flying low. He could hear them. And then he followed them with his eyes, but he couldn't see them. But I followed them with my eyes and saw that they went over the mountain and got even lower. And then all of a sudden you could hear the sound of the helicopter crashing. Dude, did you or did you not see it? You know your eyes don't hear, right? They see. Your ears are what hears. I mean, you can pick up off like speech patterns off if you can read lips, but other than that, if people have an accent or something, it's gonna be completely different because they're speaking with an accent.
You know what, too? Now
son of a bitch.
Now that people got bored with the Kobe situation, which mind you, if they seem to be concerned about Lil Nas X dressing like he's trying to get a part in the new Brokeback Mountain movie, Broke Black Mountain.
Well,
on the Grammys.
If he's a homosexual, then
he is.
I'm just not going to pay attention to him.
At the end of the day, listen to this.
As long as you're not pushing it to the children, I don't care.
Because who's listening to him right now?
I'll swing on him.
I'll swing on him. Watch a nigga.
I'll swing on him. If we get the chance, then throw him in the boxing ring with me, and I'll swing on him.
The LGBTQ.
I'll swing right on him.
Story time.
TikTok has TikTok full of a bunch of transgenders and homosexuals. Listen, I'll swing on Lil Nas X.
Listen, I'm not gonna violate the platform.
If he's older than 18 and I won't go to jail and we go to the fucking boxing ring, I'll swing on that motherfucker.
All right, so hold on. My thing is this: if you're gonna be gay, right? But do not use your movement to force other people to not only accept your way of life, but to be a part of your way of life.
Yeah.
Because my thing is this, right? The LGBTQ community. All right, cool. We'll have that little movement, right? But keep that shit over there. That's number one.
Don't try to influence anybody else to try to join your whatever you're pushing, whatever your agenda is.
Exactly. But not just that.
Keep it to yourself or keep it to your community.
Right? I'm gonna give y'all a message. Now, nobody cares that you're gay. What we care about is that you use that to get what you want, whatever you want, and to get away with things. And every time someone says anything negative about you, it's a hate crime. But look at the hundreds of years of oppression that black people had, and yet not one black person could scream hate crime and you go to jail. That goes to any community that abuses their difference from the norm.
Disrespect.
Hate crime.
It's disrespectful.
And let me get away with this. Because now what you're doing is you're perpetuating hate on somebody else. Now, Little Nas X, right? For one, what the fuck are you doing as a black man going to the Grammys, which the Grammys don't support black people. No award show really does. Unless it was designed by black people for black people, and they don't even support themselves. Why? Who? Oh, and I want you guys to go look up drag queen story time, and look how inappropriate that is. Exposing preschoolers to drag queen and transgender agendas. Go research that and tell us in the comment section how you feel about it, because I think it's inappropriate. Because first of all, they don't need to be exposed to that. And what they try to get the public to think is that, oh, we just teaching them how to be loving and accepting of all walks of life or whatever the case may be. No, because children are very impressionable to what they see. So when you have, because there was a video where there was a transgender twerking in front of a bunch of kids, stripping. What you're teaching these little boys, and not just that, what you're teaching little boys is you can put a dress on, you can blah, blah, blah. Now, let me tell you something. In my household, that's a no. That's not happening. You know why? Because I don't play that. The way I was raised, if you're a boy, you're a boy. That's the way it is. And that's the way they're going to be raised. We're not playing them type of games. Right? Now, what is being brainwashed into even the adult men is that if you tell your little boy, stop crying like a girl, that's abuse. Not to the boy, to any female that's around you. Instead of looking at it as, first of all, a man is supposed to be masculine, a protector. A man is physically built that way to be that, but yet you're going to turn around and tell me I can't teach my son how to be a man. I have to let him be a female.
That's the problem with today's society. Everybody's trying to either let people into their personal lives, and people are trying to say, oh, it's okay for the society to judge how I raise my child. First of all, a long time ago, not even a long time ago, when I was growing up, people, if you got into my business, you were known as a nosy person, and a lot of people get beat the fuck up for that. We don't want you in our personal business. This is our family for a reason. There's a reason why it's our family and it's not yours.
But now, what I'm saying,
there's a reason why there's people that look a certain way in society and act a certain way in society, and there's a reason why certain people carry their ways, because they were born like and raised off certain principles.
But what I'm saying is this: they act like he's just being himself. That's what they want you to believe on the surface. He's just dressing like himself. How many gay artists that were openly gay that we've had in the last few decades dressed that flamboyant? How many of them? I mean, as a whole, that many.
Not many.
And were they celebrating? Were they the number one artist out of nowhere?
No.
We had Little Richard. That's the only one I can remember that was flamboyant like that. There's being gay and then pushing it onto the little kids, because you know the little kids is gonna follow who they idolize, and because you're promoted as the number one artist because you wasn't there because your song was that hot. You're there because the media played. You got your song played so many times it got stuck in the kids' heads. And now the kids love it. The kids only like what they see a million times. For example, and that's how the country's become. It's almost like people are just that dumb. For example, if they didn't promote the iPhone the way it was, you think everybody and their mother would have a fucking iPhone?
No.
People bought the iPhone because and this is who made it popular. The teenagers made it popular, not the adults. The teenagers. You know how I know? Because you go to the high schools, then iPhone comes out. You see one kid with the iPhone, just like the same thing with the sidekicks. The iPhone comes out. Oh, yo, I got an iPhone. The kid will brag and shit. So another kid will get the iPhone. Then everybody's like, yo, I want an iPhone. Then the shit spreads. Now you can't be cool unless you got the fucking iPhone. So it's a popularity thing. Then you become, as you grow older, you get accustomed to that iPhone. But nobody admit to that you did it for popularity reasons at first. Same thing with the sidekick. If you didn't have a BlackBerry or a sidekick at that time, at one point, or a Razor, You were a lame. You could have been the most popular kid before those phones got popular. But the minute those phones got popular, you wasn't shit. You could have the newest pair of Jordans on, the newest pair of whatever, and you would have still been a fuckboy. The iPhone comes out. If you didn't have an iPhone, you wasn't shit. Even when the Droid phones, the first Droid phones came out, and the G1 and all of that. I know a lot of y'all. This is throwbacks, but you was a nobody if you didn't have the latest iPhone, the latest whatever. So now the Galaxy comes out as the competitor. In the beginning, when the Galaxy came out, you had a Galaxy, ew, right? Until I seen how the Galaxy was progressing and looking better than the iPhone. Now, those are the two top dogs. And if you don't have either of those phones, you ain't nobody. Or maybe a Google Pixel, you know.
Well, the problem with today's society is everybody's materialistic and they want to judge off what another person has. People are pocket watchers and penny pinchers, and yet they don't understand. First of all, today's society, we have more than fucking 3 billion people on this planet. You can't judge a person off what they have and what they don't have. First of all, there's homeless people out there that either they made the wrong decision in life, or they weren't provided with the same like the same opportunities or the same resources that we have. They can't just go up there and say, "Oh, today I want to go get a job," or "Today I want to go up there and fucking buy this or buy that," or "I want to be able to fucking buy my parents some land." If there's 3 billion people on the planet or more than that, then how are you supposed to be like, "Oh, I could buy acres of land. Excuse me. I could buy acres of land and then at the same time share the street with like billions of other people. Not like every person on this planet can get all these 20 acres of land and then be successful and thrive with everything that they have.
My
It's
thing
not
is
that.
this. What I'm basically making the point is that the powers that be, the people on top, figured out a way to appeal to the masses. They chose, because people are followers, popularity. So what they do is they'll promote you up to where we can't stop hearing you. Once you get popular with the kids, once you get popular with the teens, it's over. You now have mind control over the whole world. Because now the adults are going to try to feel young. They're going to try to fit in with the younger crowd. They're going to start trying to dress and act like them. Look at R. Kelly. And the only reason I mention him is this. Look at how he dressed. Each generation of music, look at how his clothes changed. Look at how he dressed changed. Early, let's say 90s. Bald head like Michael Jordan, right?
Yep.
Leather goddamn everything. Open jacket and shit. He's gyrating on stage, right? So trying to be like Casey and JoJo. Early 2000s. Baggy clothes. Timberland boots. Bandanas with speckles and shit all over it. Fitted caps. The late 2000s. He started dressing like the people of that, like then, right?
Yep.
Then you got this generation. Skinny jeans, designer shit, smaller chains. He's trying to
Choke
fit in with
chains,
each generation, right?
choke chains, and all that
Chokers
extra
and
shit.
So now,
Fucking
he's the
leather
perfect reason why he's
vest.
the perfect example of because that nigga's in his 50s. That clearly shows you that the older people are going to start following after the previous generation instead of setting the next trend. So now, we have people like Lil Nas X, and there's no real diss to him other than he is either promoting the agenda, which is population control, which is death, which is mind control, because you're not giving these children the choice. You're telling them to go against nature. And if he's not really gay and he's just doing it because he knows that's going to get him paid, come on. Because now you're cursing and screwing the next generation. Because now, think about it like this. You'll have a whole bunch of kids pretending to be something they're not. And then when it comes time to show that you really part of that community and you know what you got to do that, Now you gotta do something out of your character and yourself. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to get your back broke, you're gonna be like, oh hell no, I'm not with that. But then you do it anyway because now people are like, oh, so now you was faking. Get the money back, destroying his character in the media, right? And the straight kids, they're like, damn, I can't even make it if I'm straight. The straight grown men can't make it.
That's the whole thing. People like that's another thing that ruined. Like, first of all, there's so many people that want me to talk on the topic of World War III. First of all, you need to need to understand. You need to understand. First of all, everything leads back to what the fuck is going on here in America right now.
World War III is not. I don't think it's a literal war. Yet, I think it's a society. It's against the public.
Right now, it's a mental war. It's more of yeah. That's basically what it is. It's a civil war against the public with the secret societies and other people, like people at power or whatever, players at like at hand or whatever. I don't know how you want to word it, but either way, what I'm trying to say is there's people at play and people at like at hand that are trying to say, oh, you can't have this, you can't have that due to what's going on in this other society or whatever. Dude, majority of the media is being like blown out of it's blown out of proportion. Yeah, population control
let me give the government a hint, and I'm completely against population control. But let me give the government a hint, so they don't have to destroy the whole world to get their goal. For one, they're doing multiple different things at one time, which is less controllable than just doing one thing to control population. One, they're spreading disease in the food. Two, they're growing our food fucked up in unsafe conditions. Breeding homosexuality. Murdering people. Spreading diseases. Quarantining people that don't need to be quarantined.
It's not going to work.
You know what you do?
It's just not going to work.
Oh, giving us drugs that kill us. You know what you do? The best way to control population is to give freedom. And here's what I mean by that. The government holds rallies against abortion. And I'm against abortion. The government holds rallies for abortion. So instead of preaching contradiction, just let people decide. Because I'm going to tell you now, 90% of the people who end up with children because people guilt them out of abortion, they wouldn't have children because they would go abort. Because their lifestyle that they are accustomed to, the freedom to go travel wherever the fuck they want, does not fit with having a family. Freedom. That's one way. So now, that's less people having children. It's messed up. That's less people having children. Stop slut shaming. If people stop slut shaming or legalize prostitution, do I think it's morally right? No. But this is a way for the government to not go in there and start bang bang shoot them up to the public and not kill us by fucking up our food. Right? Don't kill the people that are already here because they're eventually going to die off from natural causes. But there's ways to prevent the next generation from coming that's better than preaching homosexuality. Legalize prostitution. Prostitutes are not going to allow themselves to get pregnant. They're going to make you strap it up. And here's why. Because if the minute they get pregnant, unless you're a fucking freak, you're not going to sleep with them. And that stops their money flow. And they'll die off anyway because of that. Number two, AIDS is going to be at an all-time high because niggas going to be just fucking everything that moves. And they're going to die because not everybody can afford treatment. Not everybody's Magic Johnson. Right? So, basically, and not everybody's smart enough to follow the teachings of Dr. Sebi. So, we will destroy ourselves. But I think that the people in power, the people with the real money, the real wealthy, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds and all that, they're so far effed up and so far gone, and they have so much power that they're deluded, right? They're mentally just retarded. Like they just effed up.
The problem is, like, all right. First of all, if we're gonna like try to help the masses and everything, they're playing. There's no real help in the masses as far as like in their eyes. Their plan is to eradicate all humanity, move on to another planet so that they can stay in life out there.
But I think it's like this. I think it's a power thing and a struggle thing because put it this way, right? They already control most of the world, right? But let me put it like this. So maybe you could see this point of view. When you get a certain amount of power and your goal of conquest is already completed for the most part, and there's nowhere left to go up, there's only one way to go down, right?
To a
And
certain
you
degree,
fucking go crazy. You fucking go crazy because you're sitting up there. Oh, damn, I already own every fucking thing. What else can I do? Just like a lot of rich people, when they feel like there's no way up they can go, they start to lose their fucking mind. So they turn to drugs to keep
that's
themselves
the
entertained.
that's the whole thing. These quote unquote elites, they believe that they can reach amongst like they can go amongst each star system. They can go from galaxy to galaxy. They can do whatever they want as long as they get rid of us and use whatever humans are left over, whatever organs and like what do you call it? Resources from our bodies as a means of fuel and getting to another star system.
But you could tell, right?
That's not possible.
But by some of the preparations that they made in the last over 100 years, that over 1,000 years, that these dudes have had this power for multiple generations, this money for multiple generations. Like for example, taking the seeds and storing them in Norway, right? All the seeds of all the vegetation on the earth, right? And then killing all the animals in the forests and jungles and stuff, right? So this has been systematically planned. But now, what we got to look at now is they're so effed up mentally from being bored and so wealthy for so long and so powerful that they don't have any grasp on reality or common sense. So the only thing they could do is self-destruction. But humans are naturally self-destructive. We've been that way since the dawn of time. We've done things that were against what the creator excuse me intended for us to do. Over time will destroy itself. It's just a slow process. But they're so effed up mentally that they want to just get the job done. We're just that self-destructive. We are so fucking effed up. We don't realize the things that we do destroy everybody else is destroying us. They're to the point where they don't want so many people. Because now, what's gonna happen when you get rid of all the poor and you get rid of all the middle class and all you have is the wealthy? You can never truly get rid of the poor, and you can never truly get rid of the middle class. You can never just make a whole thing of just the super elite rich. You know why? Because let's say they got rid of the poor and they got rid of the middle class. Now what they're gonna do is they're gonna eat each other. Now what they're gonna do is they're gonna say,
Again,
okay,
shout out Wasonic on YouTube.
right. So now what they're gonna say is, I'm a trillionaire. You're a billionaire. I'm better than you. I have more power than you. You're a billionaire. He's a millionaire. I have more money. You have more money than him. You're better than him. You're more powerful than him. He's the low class. You're the middle class. I'm the upper class. Then what they're going to do is, over time, they're going to destroy each other again. And it's going to be a never-ending cycle. Instead of saying, well, we're the elite, either we change how we look at this system and we help other people succeed in our country to make our country the most powerful and most rich country, which we are not, and we make everyone in our country rich and powerful, instead of looking at it me, and him, and let's just make the small group, and we only sleep around with the same group, which is why a lot of rich and powerful people have diseases, because they only sleep with that same group and they share mates. Why not? Our whole country needs to be rich. Let's make the other countries look poor. Granted, that's still a negative thing,
Because
but
we still have segregation and fucking
But let's make it a competition without violence.
It's not gonna happen.
It could happen. Not gonna happen. It could happen because if they have it more like a sporting event and more like competition, how many billionaires can your country create? How many billionaires can my country create? Oh yeah, we'll still do business and trade with each other, but what can you teach your civilians in your country to do with the resources you get from us to make them richer than us? Who can teach their society better? That would stop all the war. That would control the population, because now you wouldn't even need to make control in the sense that you have to make everybody in prison. You wouldn't have to control them until everybody's a slave. You wouldn't have to do that. You know why? Because everybody be caught up doing what you teach them to do to be rich and successful. And you know what? By doing that, you're making yourself richer, because you know why? That's more stuff that you produce or have a slight ownership in to bring more power and money to you without destruction. That's like this. Say I'm the leader of America, right? And you're the leader of what country? Big powerful country.
Russia or something.
Russia. You're Russia. And I go to you and I say, you want to make a bet? We're both rich, right? Which one of us could pass a law? Now we keep trade going, right? The way it is. But which one of us could teach the people that live in our countries the best on being the richest? Let's bet on that. And let's keep that bet going, because you wouldn't even have to worry about who's going to be the leader of the world, controlling the entire world. You'll be running your country, but your country, the civilians in your country, is running the world.
Well, that's the problem. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, they're gonna try to make this as non-violent as possible," but yet these other countries strive off
non-violent for them.
Yeah, but they're gonna say more or less the other country is the one that's gonna strive off of personal vendettas and personal insults or whatever. Say
hold
on. Say we do go towards them with that plan or that what is the word I'm looking for? We give them that the choice to do something like that. So we give them the choice or whatever to like say we could take up that offering. They're gonna look at it as a personal insult. They're gonna be like, oh no, they think they're better than us.
That's how you word it. And of course
they're gonna try to go to war.
That's how a lot of competitions begin. Because now Russia's gonna say, right now as it stands, we might not be able to beat them, or it's gonna take a while for them to get their poor people, because they got a lot of poor people in America.
Yeah,
we have this communist way of thinking. All we gotta do is say, okay, because with communism, that's still present in Russia, not all the way. Some parts of Russia, some parts of other countries. Russia has to say, well, we've been working with this way. All we got to do is tweak it. And now say, not only are you required to take the jobs we tell you to take, but now you're required to take these classes to teach you how to become billionaires. And then by the end of 2 years, not only are you going to be prepared to be billionaires, but now we're going to allow you to own your own home. We're going to allow a certain percentage of you the following year, because if they do it in increments, it'll make sense. This section is going to be able to own their own homes and start their businesses. Then this section, 10 years down the line, I guarantee half of the country is going to be millionaires, or at least 100,000aires. Then you got China. They're already business savvy. So where we have the head start of already making a lot of money and have an opportunity, they have the head start in their system and how it's set up to where they can force the people to take these business education. And you think they're going to have to force them? No, because a lot of people already hate the communist way of life. So they're going to say, they're going to look at the government like the government's dumb as hell. And they're going to be like looking at the government like, are they serious? Are they serious about to force us to be rich? Okay. And they're going to run and do it. And then you don't have to pay for it? Because the reality of it is education is free. Education is free. You don't need to pay for education, but the countries trick you into thinking you need to pay for it. You don't. Communist country. They would win in the beginning. But here's where other countries can catch up. China, they already have hustlers, right? They're full of hustlers and people who make things. China would make a lot of money because we would get goods from them and it would trade. But then here's where we know how to upsell. We hustlers too. We know how to hustle. They know how to create. So now with China, they say, all right, guys, y'all ain't gotta struggle in no more. We would need our country. We got billions of people here. So now we have billions of people who could become millionaires. Right? Just in China alone. Then you go to, let's say, Africa. They give Africa equal opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Africa. Then they go to India. And they go to all these places and say, they do sit down on live television, live on the internet. Guys, we're changing the way the world is run. We're doing a competition. And every one of these countries is going to teach their people the ways of finances and give you opportunities to become millionaires. Because we want each of our countries to be the most powerful, because money equals power in this world, right?
Yep.
We're not having the goal to run the world for bragging rights. We don't want violence. We don't want this, because you'll be so distracted by saying, oh, snap. First of all, people won't be concerned about having children anymore. Population control. And then the ones who are, which aren't going to be many, they'll be able to afford to take care of the kids. And they're going to teach their next kids to be most powerful, because now they're going to be encouraging the few people who do decide to have kids, raise your kids right. Teach your kids finances. They already do it in small groups. Now it's time to expand. We would not have to worry about disease, war, World War, whatever the fuck, because you know what World War 4 or 5 and 6, 7 to whatever it would be? It'll be a goddamn debate on finances. Money's the root of all evil, but you can't have good without evil, right? You gotta get rid of the evil. You gotta, turn it to something good. What do you think?
Well, first of all,
I mean, it's an idea.
Well, first of all, there's too much shit. Like, I don't know what people are expecting to come out of this whole World War III bullshit, propaganda, everything that's going on. You're not gonna see another world war going on, and not, at least not in your lifetime.
Not in the traditional sense.
Yeah, not in your lifetime, not in the traditional sense. We're not gonna. At least it's not gonna be out and open, due to the fact that we already have troops out in the fucking, like, out on soil in Iran. We're technically at war with them. So do you want to consider this our, like, third world war? Because they're saying Russia and every other China and Russia are getting involved. Are we at another world war? You decide.
Okay, so now it's a touchy subject when you bring up Iran and Iraq and over there, right? Here's my belief. This was a strategic plan by certain leaders, and I'm not going to give out names because I'm going to give that to the viewers to decide for themselves and to go do the research, because I don't want to just give them all the information, because what are they going to do with it? Unless they find this out, they won't appreciate it. By certain leaders to get rid of those who could band together and war against them and possibly disturb their plan, either stop their plan or completely, or cause the plan to slow down. So now, what I mean by that is this. Muammar Gaddafi, he wasn't such a bad guy. he would have made Africa a world power again, which at one point around biblical times, Africa was the world power, the only real world power, right?
Yeah.
And then the time of Mansa Musa, right?
Yep.
So basically, antiquity to a certain point.
And then speaking of Gaddafi, I know these are two. Oh, almost sneezed. Nope.
So he was a threat to their new world order, right?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Speaking of Gaddafi, I know these are two completely different people, but Yafufula or Yaki Gaddafi or Yaki Fula, whatever. Um, a lot of people believe that he had a major role, and it just seems that it's weird that certain people with certain names and certain aspects and have a certain perspective on life, they get taken out of the game before they can get their message out there. But yet,
So then you have Saddam Hussein, who was a bad guy,
yeah,
but he threatened. He would have been a threat to their plans because he had military power, just like Muammar Gaddafi.
yep.
Not just that, but he could rally together with people of like mind. Then you also have, let's go back some. Adolf Hitler, bad guy, but had charisma and military power and could rally people together. That's a threat to their plans. People don't think about this. Why people who have military power, why people who could rally people together, people with charisma, are getting murdered by these people. And not just murdered, but publicly murdered. Then you have the general in, what was it, Iran? Murdered publicly. And every one of these people who pose a threat, it's almost like they do it so you see it. So it's like, oh shit, these people did something against the United States or against this power, this world power. Let me chill the fuck out. Let me not do anything because I don't want to be killed. And then my picture is posted. Even when you have Osama bin Laden, after he was messed up, even before he was shot up, we seen pictures of the nigga fucked up.
Yep.
After we see it again.
Yeah.
His family decimated. All these people, right? And they're labeled terrorists. But don't this country and other countries, and this is not speaking against U.S. I love the U.S.
Are we not considered terrorists when we go and attack a different land? That was a question that was asked for a long time. Are we not terrorists when we go to defend our land? Because if you want to be technical, we've had wars on different lands before. We've had different circumstances where we had to fight back, or other countries had to fight back. Who's considered the terrorist?
But my thing is this.
I understand it's when you're attacking innocent civilians and you're attacking innocent lives and you're attacking innocent people or animals. But how are you considered a terrorist if even you're still a terrorist even if you're defending yourself, right?
My thing
there
is
are people in the U.S. today that can't defend themselves without being thrown in jail, thrown in prison, and yet these people are considered or labeled terrorists. They still have a record after that.
My thing is this. We don't know if any of these people labeled as terrorists were actually terrorists. The thing is, the U.S. and a lot of other countries who are where we are with media, they have the gift of gab and people of anything. They're great at brainwashing. So what they do is they tell you lies in the news. They tell you lies and spread propaganda, and to negatively affect their opponents. It's like what politics, right? So now, all it is one big political game. So now, we don't know in their country what these people are considered. We don't know if the country went in there and said, promise these people, these poor people, things, right? Mm-hmm. And said, hey, aren't you tired of being poor? We could do this for you. Which they have no plan on following through. But now, all you gotta do is, we're gonna come kill this bastard, and then after we do that, we'll give you all you want. All you gotta do is say, oh, he was a bad guy. We don't know. because Gaddafi was under the impression that his people loved him. Oh, my people love me. What are you talking about? Right? Next, he's dead. We couldn't touch Kim Jong-un because he's a psychopath. We couldn't mess with North Korea because he's a fucking psycho. So he's like, he's not trying to downplay nothing. He's not trying to say no. What are you talking about? He's saying, oh yeah, my people hate me. Fuck you. And you know what he's saying when he says that? Oh, fuck you so much that I'm gonna come kill you. Fuck with me. So, but he legitimately is an asshole to the point where he's like, I'm controlling these people, and I'm not even gonna. I know they hate me, and not just do I know they hate me, I know why they hate me because I'm a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now,
well, that's the whole thing. It's not. It's more like not a fear tactic with the U.S. We're not afraid to do anything to Kim Jong Un. It's just more or less.
Fear. It goes. It's gonna. They're playing up.
Yeah.
Because they have a certain order of things. So now it's also this. Look at, there could be freedom fighters on the low, and it goes against the plan. We don't know what this, because we don't have a camera on every angle watching everything that goes down in their countries. There's only a few countries that we've seen media coverage because they sent it out. Or they had video recordings and we played it later, like Adolf Hitler. He had footage of him rallying people together and showing their power. But we don't know if that was like, because it seemed like his country loved him for the most part, other than the people he was putting in death camps. And then this is not hate speech toward the Jewish people, but a lot of them are committing atrocities here and get away with it. And they have a lot of power here, yet black people have been suffering this whole time, longer than the Holocaust period of time, and yet get no rights and no love. Who knows what they were doing in those countries? Like, because I've heard a radio podcast or a radio interview where one of them said, we eat children. We kill them and feed them to people. Now, who's to say they wasn't doing some evil shit over there? And Hitler was like, oh, whoa, hold up. Because I've also read an old history book where it says he went to war with them and they lost. And he said, that, and said, now he went fucking ape shit and was like, we're getting rid of them. We're exterminating them now because they're evil. And he just tried to, he justified it to him why he did what he did. Now, is it okay to put people in death camps and do all that? No. But do I think he had his reasons? Yes. And do I think with certain people that this country has murdered, do I think that they've lied to us about certain things about these people? Yes, because the more negative or effed up they look, the more like people are going to rally behind them and say, oh, America's not bullies, we're heroes. Even some soldiers that go do these things are looking at this country like this is effed up. Right? So
well, that's the whole thing. That's what I find funny. The fact that majority of these people they don't seem to realize, dude, in the eyes of whoever you're going to attack, you're still looked at as a terrorist no matter what you do. You're looked at as the wrong person. Even majority of like society looks at our own troops as the people that are right.
But then look at us like we're fucked up.
Yeah, our troops look at us like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? You sent us over there to do this to these people? You sent us over there. Do you know what the fuck we've seen over there? We've lost people to this shit because of you.
There's been Marines that have come back and said America lied to us. And now, mind you, I love living here. The amount of freedom that we do have, or at least simulated freedom, is better than some countries have. And I don't mind that, right? As long as you got money here, you pretty much good, right? But
that's true.
Where because some countries, the amount of money don't even matter. People walk in your house and blow your head off. You know what I'm saying? Rob you and do all type of shit. But now
it barely matters here. It's just a matter of
you have power when you have money here.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
You have protection when you have money here.
To a certain degree. Because there's people that I don't give a fuck if you're I'm your brother and you have money, nigga, I'll do this to you. I'll do that to you. Dude,
but that's
these people don't
love an individual. What I'm saying is other countries that's so poor and so effed up, people just do it because they're starving. You know what I'm saying? Here, people blocks people from doing that here. There's some things in place to protect that. So, but then we have even people who speak out and um domestic people who speak out. Like let's say MLK, he was a threat to their plan. Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner, Malcolm X,
then there's actual
Harriet Tubman.
Then there's actual like, yeah. That's the whole thing I was about to speak on. With Tupac, there's with my comments earlier with Yafula, there's people that are saying that there was evidence that Yafula said he's gonna tell who shot Tupac. He can identify the shooter. What happened to that tape? I recall seeing that tape.
Also, have you noticed? Right, I just noticed something. Now, even some of our people that we look at as evil, or who don't give up, they're still kind of threats to the way things go with the society, unless they ally themselves with the society. So look at, and this is all alleged, but alleged. I want some of y'all to look into it though. Anyway, look at Jay, and look at the people he's Jay-Z. Look at the people he surrounds himself with. He allies himself with people who took down whole drug cartels. He allies himself with people who does spirit cooking, meaning cooking virgin children and eating their flesh while they're still alive. Yeah, Jay-Z. The shirt he wore, "Do as they will, do what you want to do," meaning don't follow the creator. Yep. And then, does he ever get any bad propaganda? But yet he's black buying football and investing in the NFL, the NBA. He has his own platform for music streaming. One of the richest musicians ever. And then now look at Michael Jackson though. Michael Jackson was successful, got a part of Sony, dead. Look at Diddy. All of a sudden, when Diddy's hitting that full billionaire mark, they saying he killed Big. They're saying he killed Tupac. They're saying he did da-da-da. So now, but look at how Jay got to where he was. He betrayed. And there's no diss to Jay. I just want to make a point that unless you ally yourself with the right people, because even if you don't agree with their ideals, right, their agenda, because Jay could be all for black people and all for the freedom of black people and the financial wealth of black people and well-being. But these people, they're using him as a pawn, whether he knows it or not. So now the people that is not fully allied with them, they'll destroy their character. Did he?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. A lot of people think, oh, he's a revolutionary or he's trying to send a message through his music or something, trying to give back to the black community or colored melanated community. They don't care. Dude, none of that shit fucking matters. as long as their plan is at play and it's working, they don't. That's it.
Because unless it's a direct message like how Tupac used to have a direct revolutionary message, like in public speaking, where he's like, "Yo, fuck these people, they don't care about us," and then you're taking into action. Did you just waste that and throw that in the garbage? You threw the food in the garbage? I'm gonna check. Okay. So, so he would be like, okay. So he would be like, he basically in public speaking would tell us they don't like us and don't care about us. And he went and took into action. See, a lot of people say Tupac was a fake gangster. He was soft and all that. No. Okay, in the streets, he handles business, knuckling up. Nobody said he was the toughest and most street nigga and had the best hands.
I heard that he was willing to shoot, so go ahead.
And he's had beef with some real hood gangsters. Now,
it wasn't just beef with hood people. That's what people seem to get mixed up. He was also into it with government and secret societies. And I'll get into that.
Now, we have this false representation of gangster, right? Yeah. We have this thing where, we praise these dudes that will shoot each other down and beat each other up. Yeah. But then let them a crooked cop come in, beat your mama, beat your sister, beat your child, slap the out of you, and what are you gonna do? Yes. But Pac was like, he seen some people whooping some black dude's ass, and he shot their ass. That's a real. I'm gonna say gangster. I'm gonna say that's a revolutionary. That's beyond the gangster, because apparently being a gangster entitles you to being a bitch when the cops come around.
Yeah,
that's a slave mentality. That's a house nigga. I'd rather be the field nigga. You know why? Because when Massa come around, I'm gonna say you, Massa, and Massa gonna beat my ass. But when the time come and we all stand up and link together, we gonna murder Massa or we gonna escape. While the field nigga said, no, sir, I don't want to leave Massa. Right? But do you have anything else to say real quick before we have to go?
No, that's about it.
All right, so we're gonna tune back in later. I don't know if we're gonna do a live stream later or something.
We should be able to
or vlog or something.
Vlogs or something.
So we'll get back to y'all, and thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, until we see you guys in the next one. Shout out to Wasonic, shout out to Kahunaveli TV, and shout out to I Am Mowgly at I Am Mowgly on Instagram if you guys want to follow me. PayPal.com/I Am Mowgly if you guys want to donate, and if you want to plug anything.
Should we shout out Marcus? Okay, so we also I want to definitely plug my wife and I's new brand coming, Luxurious Eden. Like I said, skin care products, healthcare products now too. We're gonna have sea moss. I think we're gonna invest in hibiscus flowers, and many other things that you could take inside your body. So you're not only caring for the outside of your body the right way, but you're inside the body as well. So we want to shout that out. So again, Luxurious Eden. We may also, I don't know about immediately when we release the healthcare products, have shirts coming.
Yeah, we'll be having some clothing brands coming soon.
Clothing.
I Am Mowgly clothing or Jungle Book clothing, and then whatever Kahunaveli's clothing is gonna be.
Right. So now we have a lot. So now,
more or less, they're probably gonna fall under the same sponsorship. And then if Wasonic wants to drop any clothes or any merchandise, it'll fall under our sponsorship.
So we're independently owned by ourselves, independently funded, so you know the quality is going to be there, and you have nothing to worry about a rush job. So now what that means is, in order to compete and survive against these big companies, we have to have the quality. So we want you guys to understand we're looking out for you. We're not going to play you. We're coming out with that good stuff. So we will be setting up pre-orders soon. So those of you who do pre-orders, your products will be slightly cheaper than the ones that than when we officially put the sales out. So that means you'll be saving some money. So definitely pre-order when we drop the pre-order page. We'll let you know in another podcast. So in another vlogcast. How about that? So we want y'all to join the wave, surf it, and enjoy what we have to offer. Do not drown with the rest of these clowns, and tune in and go support Luxurious Eden, I Am Mowgly, Kahunaveli TV,
and I Am Mowgly. And not only that, we should be having some training equipment, fitness training equipment coming soon. If anybody wants to pick up the sponsorship or endorsement for I Am Mowgly, Kahunaveli, because I have plenty of designs in mind and everything, and everybody that follows me on Instagram and everything knows about my art talent or whatever. They know that I'm good at creating any type of design. So again, we'll see you guys in the next video. We'll see you guys in the vlog.
And go support the Young Owl Network. Go support the Young Owl Network. He does not have any content up yet, but he will soon. So go support that. Also, we will be coming back on here. Definitely go support. And we're out.
All right. See you guys.